ladies and gentlemen, I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Now, in today's video, is it shit? Is this tank shit? A lot of you probably don't even know the tank, probably never even seen the tank in the game, and probably never even come up against it. Of course, if you haven't seen it, you probably wouldn't have come up against it. But we're talking about the FCM 50T. It's been around a very, very long time. Very, very long time. And actually, even though mostly it probably is a shit tank, but I enjoy it. Just because I enjoy a tank, it doesn't mean it's not shit. And the same likewise, if I don't enjoy a tank, doesn't mean it's not good. It's just my opinion. And actually, I don't mind the tank, but I can see how and why people would actually say that this is a shit tank. But we're going to have a look at the stats, and then we're going to look at some battles that we had in this tank. So the armor on this thing, it is a French and it is a tier 8, so the armor is not going to be anything crazy. However, the turret is actually 170 millimeters, which isn't bad, to be fair. For a medium French tank, it's actually quite troll, and you can get bounces on that. And your hull as well, 120. Yeah, you're not going to get too many bounces, but I don't think that is too bad. DPM, again, I don't think it's too bad. We are running calibrated shells. It's 2,294, so you can get that around 2,500 if you run it with the rammer. Reload time, I think it's pretty short, to be fair, for a medium, 5.89, not too bad for your reload. And your penetration is 223 on your AP, 272 on your APCR. So your APCR, I think, is perfectly okay, to be fair. Yeah, you may struggle against some tier 9s, but, you know, 272 with the APCR, I think, is okay. You do have a 225 alpha gun, so nothing special, but again, your reload counters that, so it ain't too bad. And 190 on your APCR, 270 on your HE. Aim time 3.5, again, nothing special. However, the dispersion ain't too bad at 0.317. It does have 8 degrees of gun depression with a top speed of 51 kilometers per hour. Now, the first thing that you notice with the tank is how big it is. I mean, for a medium tank, it is absolutely massive for a medium tank. So there's some things that you can actually do really, really well in, and if you get the opportunity, then it is actually worth giving a lighter tank a little love tap. Yeah, basically ram the hell out of them, because you will actually do a lot of damage, and you're not going to lose too much damage yourself. Again, all depends on what you are ramming. So yeah, if you're actually in a hold down position, yeah, I know you do have that hatch on top, but you can actually bounce more than you think in this tank when you are on a hold down. And people do really underestimate the tank. They underestimate the reload, they underestimate the armor, and yeah, they just see it as it's only an FCM. And that is again, that's what most people think about the tank, because they don't see it often. Again, it's not a tank that you join in a tier 8 game or a tier 7 or whatever it is, and you see these regularly. Honestly, I can't actually remember the last time I see an FCM on the battlefield. It's not a tank, and it's not a tank that I play, even though I don't think it's a fantastic. I don't think it's fantastic, but I don't think it's a bad tank. And just because I don't think it's a bad tank, it's not a tank I play. I'm not going to sit there and think, you know what, I want to play the FCM today. Never. I never really want to play it. Doesn't mean it's not a good tank. But let me know your thoughts. Like, do you think the FCM 50T is a good tank? Because I know the majority of you will probably say, nah, it's shit. But yeah, look, I mean, we're not up against anyone special, but we still managed to bounce 720. Yeah, you could say that's not a lot, but if I want to bounce that, I'll be dead right now. So I've only got 677 hit points left. So if I want to bounce that, I'd be dead and I'd be out of the game, and it could be a completely different outcome. Yeah, I don't mind it. Honestly, I really don't mind playing it. And every time I do make a video on the tank, then I do actually, obviously I play the tank to get the footage, and I walk away actually, you know what, I enjoyed that game. I actually really enjoyed that battle. And yeah, I was the same here. I have these games, 2 games, or I had more games actually, but yeah, I actually really enjoyed. Playing the FCM there. So I love the DPM. Again, yeah, that wasn't good. But even here, like, I'll get very lucky, but very troller. I mean, he's going to go side on, and I'm okay, and I still managed to bounce. Again, that was luck. I get that was all luck, but it was still a bounce. It was still a bounce. I think he must have. Did he use a heat there? I'm not sure, but yeah, it just proves that it can be an enjoyable tank to play. Again, it doesn't do too well if you are up against these tier 9 tanks. It's not one of those that does fantastically well, but again, I think the majority of the people that play the game at the moment probably haven't ever played the game, so you can't really haven't ever come up against the FCM, so they might not have too many experiences on the tank or knowledge on the tank itself. But I remember, and actually the FCM is probably one of the only old tanks I remember the day I bought this tank, and I remember it for a reason, because I was actually going on holiday with my family, and all my family, my kids, my wife, my mum and dad. We were going on holiday, and we got to the airport, and we actually sort of sat down. We checked in, we done all that, and we went through the security, and we sat down where you got the big windows and you can see the aeroplanes outside, and we sat down, and we had a couple of hours to wait. So I logged onto the game. And this is when I was getting thousands and thousands and thousands of views, especially for a new tank. If I made a video on a new tank the day it released, it would get thousands and thousands of views. So I sat down in this airport. I opened the game because I had time to waste, and I looked in the stores because it just reached the time where the stores would update. And I see this in the store, and it actually pissed me off because it's like, oh, fuck. So I played it. I bought the tank, I played it, but sadly I couldn't make footage on the tank because I'm in an airport, and then I'm going on holiday. Imagine my wife, if I'm saying to her, love, go by the pool, I'm just going to stay back at the hotel and make this video. So yeah, I sadly couldn't make a video on the tank as it was released. But yeah, it's one of the only tanks actually going back that far that I remember purchasing because I was at the airport. And any new tank, I don't think I was a contributor back then either. So any new tank I actually had to buy. I had to buy it, and I had to, out of my own money, and then I can make a video. Nowadays, it's not too bad. I've got a press account. If there's a new tank, it goes straight on that press account, and I can make a video without buying the actual tank. But yeah, I remember it very, very, very clearly. But yeah, it's never been a popular tank, even back in the old days. But I honestly, I don't mind the tank. I think it's okay, and I think you can perform really, really well in it. So let me know your thoughts. What do you think of the FCM 50T? Let me know in the comments below. But for now, I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. I'm meadsy69, and I will catch you all soon. Bye-bye.